Well, the death toll on both sides of this fight is rising, with the Israeli Health Ministry reporting that more than 1,400 people have been killed, and the Palestinian Health Authority reporting that at least 3,000 have died. These numbers are staggering. ABC News' Inez de la Katara is joining me now from Jerusalem on that hospital attack there in Gaza. So, Inez, Israel and Hamas are blaming each other for this hospital strike that, again, killed hundreds. And also, Inez, at this hour, we're just hearing from a senior U.S. official who says they also don't know who's responsible.
Hey, Kina, yeah, horrific attack there on a hospital in Gaza City. We know at least 500 people were killed. We know there were people sheltering in place at that hospital. As we've talked about, with the IDF calling on Palestinian civilians to flee the north of Gaza, people have nowhere to go, and so they've been going to places like schools, like hospitals. We know there were people sheltering in place at that hospital. It's unclear just how many, but we were seeing reports that there could have been as many as 5,000 people sheltering in that hospital. Horrific images now surfacing on social media showing the hospital in flames, doctors running around, people running around screaming, doctors rushing to get their patients out. A devastating situation, and the IDF says that they are not behind it. They claim that this was a misfired rocket by Islamic Jihad militants. Unclear what happened there. We are still waiting for an independent analysis, but there have been situations in the past where one side has accused the other of misfired rockets that later were proved to be wrong. The U.S., like you say, they're saying that they cannot be certain at this time who is behind this. Certainly the attack being widely condemned. I will say the World Health Organization earlier today did put out a statement saying that more than 111 attacks on healthcare services in the occupied Palestinian territory had been documented by the WHO, as part of the Gaza war. So we know that there have been strikes on healthcare facilities, healthcare workers, but just such a devastating development here. This is the single largest strike as part of the Gaza war, and possibly the single deadliest strike on Gaza since 1967, Kana.
It's really unimaginable. And as we know, also U.S. officials are saying, it could take a really long time to determine who is responsible for that strike. And also separately, we're seeing these reports of Jordanian police right now that are working to secure the Israeli embassy in Jordan after protests have broken out. So what more do we know about that?
Yeah, so protests breaking out in Jordan, protests breaking out here in Jerusalem as well. We heard screams, throughout the night here. Unclear just what those were, but they came, shortly after the news of that strike broke. I think across the Arab world, we're going to see a reaction here. We know that the Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas has declared 3 days of mourning, in light of this attack, which they are calling a massacre, the Baptist Hospital massacre here. Like you say, we're seeing reaction in Jordan. So I think, more to come on that front. Definitely something to keep an eye on. The president, the Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas, also canceling a meeting with President Biden tomorrow. He was set to meet with the U.S. president. That has now been canceled. So, and I think that's just the beginning. We are going to see more and more reaction to this horrific attack. Again, the single deadliest strike in the Gaza war so far.
All right, Inez de la Katara, our thanks as always to you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.